Okay, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 and thank you, thank you, thank you. Just from the very beginning, off the get go here, my name is Matthew. This is MattTv, and this is on StreamYard. So I'm hoping this is tying in with my own personal Matt Grant Facebook page, which I believe it is doing. And I'm also doing this on an iPhone. And they do recommend that when using StreamYard, you are on a laptop or a home computer. That is not the case. So I'm hoping for a seamless show on StreamYard as I get ready to talk to Carleton County resident Aaron Bouma in just a couple of moments. So I haven't used StreamYard in a while. I do see people are watching. I understand that I'm live, but I am going to. You can leave comments. Again, you can leave comments. So I'm just going to wait to see when Aaron Bouma enters the broadcast. But I do have some other things that I'm going to be talking about. Just an unbelievable last 72 hours in regards to individuals who are scamming individuals, hackers, and scammers. I'll touch on that topic a little bit later in the show, but again, waiting for Aaron Bouma to join the broadcast. I may have to invite him to the show, but I do appreciate the live views, and anyone who has seen MattTv knows that when I have a guest on the broadcast, all I did this afternoon is I went through Aaron's Facebook page, and we'll talk about things that he's already posted. So nothing is going to come as a surprise to Aaron, and it's an opportunity for you to get to know a little bit more about Aaron. Also, going to be talking about some of the conversations I've had with my good friend Dave Keenan. There's just a few things that I'm going to talk about. I don't want to give too much of the show away. So, that being said, welcome to the broadcast, and I'm going to do what I can right now to try and get Aaron Bouma into the broadcast. It's just after 4 o'clock here on the West Coast. The weather is pleasant. It was a bit overcast, blustery today, but it looks like we are in for another beautiful sunset here on the South Coast. And I was doing a show last night, and I was mentioning how the sun just happened to come out 30 minutes before the sun went down, and my internet news feed, because I'm a part of this For the Love of White Rock Facebook page, just some tremendous photos of last night's sunset, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just in my garage, the door is open, and I'm able to see outside blue sky, some gray clouds, but the rain has stopped. But I wouldn't be surprised for another spectacular sunset tonight. So, again, here on my phone in the garage, so I want to see what I can do to try and get Aaron Bouma into the broadcast. So it's given me instructions to invite a guest. Seems like a lot of work. Seems like a lot of work to try and get someone in here. Again, I'm trying to. I know StreamYard works. I'm on it right now, but I'm on my iPhone and trying to get a hold of Aaron Bouma. But I don't know how to do that without canceling the show, and that's not something that I'm interested in. And I don't know if Aaron is able to invite himself onto the broadcast. But I do have some things that I want to discuss, so I appreciate the live views, and if you can just hang out for a few moments. I think what I'm going to do, let's just do this instead of wasting any more time. My backup plan is I have Aaron's phone number, so I'm just going to call Aaron. This would have worked if I had been on a laptop or the home computer inside the house, but I like doing my shows from out here. So my backup plan, and I apologize for looking down, I'm just looking at my phone here, is to try and get a hold of. We're just going to do it old school. We're going to do it old school, and I'm just going to give Aaron a call right now. So the next voice you hear, hopefully, will be Aaron.
Hey,
Aaron, I'm good, man. How you doing, brother?
Good. I was watching the broadcast, and I was writing on the post, and it was like I wasn't getting any notification. It must be. It could be. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Well, I was mentioning at the top of the broadcast, like when I was setting up StreamYard, they actually do give you like a disclaimer that says, for best results of using StreamYard, you should be on a home computer or a laptop. Like it's not the best because I can copy a link to send to you, but I don't have anywhere to send it to, right, without getting out of my show. So this is the next best thing. It doesn't matter. It would have been great to have you on a split screen, but I can hear your voice, which is nice. So thanks for hanging out tonight, Aaron. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem.
What's the weather like? Because AccuWeather is telling me -5 in the Woodstock area, and is there snow on the ground?
There sure is. We've got about 3-4 inches now. We're gonna get up to 6 inches, I think. I mean, it's the first bigger snowfall this year, and so it's pretty nice. It's going well. I just been working here at home today on the museum and then the military projects, and things have been pretty good. Haven't had any problems with the snow or the weather yet.
Okay.
But yeah, just it seems to it's certainly changing to winter. I'll tell you that.
Well, it is, and it's amazing how quickly it changes back there, because I know on Remembrance Day, there was a stretch of 4 or 5 days back in the Maritimes where the weather was 70 degrees and people were out in shorts and T-shirts. So how quickly the weather changes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's just to let you know, it's 8 degrees above zero out here. So, and no snow.
No snow. Jeepers, you guys. Yeah.
Listen, I think the last time you were on the show was back in September.
Yes.
I think it was. Okay, so what is happening, and anyone who has watched MattTv knows that when I bring a guest on, I go through their Facebook page, which is exactly what I've done with you, Aaron. I went through your Facebook page, and there's maybe half a dozen things that I'd like to discuss with you, things that you've already posted. And again, it's an opportunity for people to get to know a little bit more about you. So we'll do that, but I want to end this show talking about your business, but we'll get there shortly. Okay.
Sure.
All right. This morning I joined your watch party. I believe you were carrying some live comments from where do they do their press conferences in regards to what's happening in New Brunswick with the COVID relief? Their daily updates.
The daily updates come in within, I think it's right behind or right near either the Premier's office or it's right around that area, like from the downtown near the legislature.
Okay.
And it's there's a press room there, and they do that with Jennifer Russell and the Premier or our Minister of Education, Dominic Carty, and the Minister of Health, which is Dorothy Shepherd. They do that in that room there. Whenever usually it's around 2:30.
Okay. And what was your takeaway from this press conference today on the 25th of November?
Well, it's interesting. It's an amazing record number of people that are in isolation and in quarantine, and amazing number down in St. John that are waiting for tests to get back. There's over 1,300 waiting for COVID tests to come back, whether they're positive or negative, and it's really something. We have a lot of people that are certainly worried about this, and it's of course it's understandable. So I've been worried about it too. You know me, I'm a social guy. I'm out all the time meeting people, talking to people, and it's hard not to be able to do that as much because of the risk to mom and dad and me and everybody else, right? It's just the least we could do it's the least we could do to try to, you know, stop the spread, right? And this spread is becoming more and more apparent that we're going to either be possibly locked down here, or we're going to face a lot more uptick in cases, and that's just happening. And of course, you know, I'm out and about with my job being military specialist for Carleton County, owning Bouma Woodworks, and very active in the community as far as autism. You know, my group with the autism group, and then I do Neighborhood Watch out here in Jacksontown. So I'm always, and I'm with the Legion. I'm doing so much stuff, and I'm involved in conservative politics. So it's been very, it's usually busy. It's a busy life, but it's also right now. It's interesting because not a lot is going on, and that besides my business is thriving and whatnot, but there's not a lot of other stuff going on right now, and it's kind of the social withdrawal has kind of got me a bit of feeling that FOMO effect, the fear of missing out. But what am I missing out on?
Can I give you some advice on that?
Sure.
You like to do on your Facebook, you go live on your Facebook page.
Yep.
That is just, and don't take this the wrong way, this is just you posting to an audience that isn't live. For me, and I was going to ask you this anyway, with you being an advocate for autism and your public speaking, I know you're a social guy, you like to get out there. Are you making use of the Zoom platform where you can interact with people and you can at least see them and hear them? Just a suggestion.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm doing that for a lot of meetings, especially like the autism group meetings, the group members of the members of my autism community that are based in France, and I meet with them at least once or twice a month. And so we're talking online, and so I'm doing a lot of that. And we're doing a lot of, like, we just talk online from Zoom. Mainly it's Zoom. And then I've also done an online presentation for the Atlantic Autism Conference, which was that was at the beginning of November, and I did that right on from Zoom, and because everything was virtual.
Okay. Yes.
Of course.
And you're obviously. Was there a big transition going from live to virtual? Was it easier or harder to do?
It was. I would say it was pretty easy, really. I mean, it just, you know, you set it up and then you set it up and go. Really, it's pretty easy for me. It wasn't too big a problem.
Okay. I wasn't not so much the technical aspect of it. I'm thinking where you're used to being, you know, in front of a crowd of people. Now you're looking at your audience in tiny boxes like the Brady Bunch. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite something. I still have 25 or so people looking at my stuff, and are directly on that live feed. So it went pretty well.
Okay. What is happening? And this is a story that I can't see ending well. What's going on Palmer Road? Going back to one of your videos, someone is tossing debris off the overpass. What's happening with that?
We're trying to figure that out. There's been a number of times that hasn't just been Palmer Road. It's been down another road down from there, and it's probably kids, most likely, but you never know nowadays, because we do have a drug problem around Carleton County. But it looks like there's kids or somebody going up to the bridge and then throwing off debris, and either, yesterday, last night, I was talking to a guy, it was eggs, and then another guy or somebody else said, had their windshield smashed. It was rocks, a rock or two. And when you're going at 110 and you're dropping something that suddenly is going 20 or 30 dropping, it's quite quite an impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the object didn't kill you as it came through the windshield, you lose control of the vehicle and bad things happen.
Oh, yeah.
something else I wanted to talk about, and we all remember early.
We're trying to catch them. We're trying to catch them.
Well, I would hope
so. Ideas.
I would hope that pursuit would last until someone was held accountable for those acts.
Oh yeah.
You had something on your Facebook page that I don't know if you watched it, but you would put it up. It was the Fifth Estate. It was called 13 Deadly Hours.
Yes.
In regards to the shooting that happened this year in Nova Scotia. I read a paragraph. I read one of the stories from an account from one of the victims' relatives. Really, really tough to read, really gut-wrenching. What do you think you're going to take away from it? Because you're going to be learning even more detailed information. Like what draws you to that, Aaron?
Well, it was a horrible story. What happened? Nova Scotia was at that scenario. None of us in any, nobody in any law enforcement or military or any kind of organization would have thought that would have happened there. Or it was such a horrific, stunning, tragic scene for 13 hours that nobody, it would just total shock. It's terrible. The RCMP had certainly made mistakes. They should certainly have announced to the public via Twitter or via emergency. It would have been an emergency alert they should have put out there. Yes, he is driving a replica RCMP cruiser, just in an RCMP uniform, and they should have said that as soon as they knew that, because then at least maybe some of those people could still be alive.
Go home, lock your doors, don't answer the door for anyone.
Yeah.
That's the alert that should have been given out.
Yeah, but it wasn't, and that was it's so unfortunate. But the RCMP know they did wrong, but the problem is their higher ups are telling them, don't say too much, right? Mm-hmm. It's about just in a sense saving face right now until the details all come out.
Well, acknowledging those wrongs won't bring anyone back.
That's true. What it will do is acknowledging what there were for wrongs and what they can do to right those wrongs if there was another incident.
I want to talk about something a little more lighthearted. I want to talk about your family in a good way. And this, again, anyone who's watching this broadcast, I'm speaking with Aaron from Carleton County, and I've gone through Aaron's Facebook page. So everything that we're talking about, he's already known about. It's things that he's posted. But you seem quite proud of your uncle, Stanton Friedman. Tell me about Stanton.
So Stan Friedman, being my great uncle, he always a very, very smart man. I'd always see him at the family reunion, and he would always give me some really interesting and great perspectives. A lot of it about stuff out of this world that we are not sure. A lot of people still don't believe that there could be the possibility of extraterrestrial life, but Stan had researched the heck out of everything that there could possibly be out there, and met people, was giving conferences, and when you realize that like the possibilities out there are endless because space seems endless, then the possibility of there being life, whether intelligent or not, out there seems likely much higher than there wouldn't be. And that's the thing, the perspectives that he gives are different than perspectives of what other people have certainly been given, or have given. As far as, he's interviewed people, even Air Force pilots that have had encounters with UFOs, and one of them either lost a wingman, or had their plane vaporized, or there's that type of scenario that, where people have been abducted, things like this. And of course, so he's a great person to try to live up to. He's got huge shoes to fill. He's an amazing man, and it was sudden when he passed on.
Okay.
And yeah.
And you're just allowing people to get to know you said your great uncle?
Yeah, well, he's my uncle. Yeah, it would be my great uncle.
Your great uncle. Okay.
He's my great uncle.
Just a couple more things, Aaron, then I'm gonna let you go. Military auction at the KFC hall. What's that like? What are you purchasing? What are people getting auctioning off from the military?
So it was an auction. It was just an auction from A1 Auctioneers. They're based out of, I'm not sure, I think Frenton.
Okay.
Or Fred or Bathurst, I'm not sure. But A1 Auctioneers is a group that come down, an auctioneering company that they were selling all kinds of things. It's all estate auctions, right? So whatever's in the estate, from China to different different cabinets to different trinkets and I was able to purchase some point bayonets, some British number 2 number 2 Mark 4 bayonets, which were from the Second World War and after the Second World War, for the Lee Enfield rifles, and their spike bayonets that I got 2 of them, and they were like for $35.
I saw that picture. That's awesome. Like, to be able to, for me, I love history, but to physically have history in your hand, good on you, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Actually, I just got today. Came in the mail. I bought it. It was not cheap, but I bought a Carlton York tunic, and I'll post it on Facebook after. Okay. My new tunic is a piece of Carlton Carlton County history, which Carlton York Regiment being, there was the Carlton Light Infantry, and then of course they amalgamate different units, members from different units, like from the 104 to, anyway, what is today the Royal New Brunswick Regiment Reserves. They became Carlton Light Infantry, and then they amalgamated with the York 71st and then other units, and to become the Carlton York Regiment. And then that was the Second World War. This was the Second World War tunic, and so it's a great addition to my museum collection. And so I was just, I got that today, and it came in the mail.
Nice. Well, we had a package delivered to the house that I'm going to talk about here in a couple of moments. But just one more thing. I'll give you an opportunity to answer 2 questions for me. Well, one's a question, but I really want to give you an opportunity to close things out on your end, just letting people know where you are with your business. But first, before we get to that, what is your, and I know I didn't mention this in the notes that I sent you in a message, but what is your 1 or 2 word response, or not 1 or 2 sentence response to someone who refers to you, Aaron, as a sheeple? What's your response if someone calls you sheeple, which I just can't stand that phrase, that word.
It's a phrase that if sheeples are referring to when they think that you're brainwashed, that you're just following a government example that wants to control you, that wants to keep you controlled, and not want you to think for yourself. That's what that people refer to as sheeples.
Yes. So how do you feel knowing that when someone refers to you as sheeple? Do you give it any energy? Do you brush it off? Do you try and...
I brush it off.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I brush it off, but I say, like, guys, they're just trying to keep you healthy, trying to keep you safe. And, if you have parents or grandparents that you're going to go see, if you get this, are you going to think twice about going to see them? Or do you, I ask people, do you actually think about other people besides yourself and what you and yourself can affect as far as other people?
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah. Cool, brother. Okay. Listen, your business. I kind of want to wrap this show up here in the next 5 minutes, which we have 5 minutes left. I'm going to give you 2 of those to tell everyone about your business.
Okay, so Balmo Woodworks, I'm owned by Aaron Bouma, military specialist for Carleton County. I'm the owner-operator of Balmo Woodworks. I build military models, from tanks, aircraft, guns, warships, submarines, pistols, you name it, from scratch, just looking at pictures. But I also build furniture as well, from different plans. So I have been doing this for a number of years, and it's a woodworking business, and it's using creativity from the mind as well as it's a local business. New Brunswick proud, and it's support local.
Any commission pieces that you're working on right now, Aaron? You said you were busy.
Yeah, I'm working on. Me and Mom were just painting tonight. This Bonaventure aircraft carrier. This carrier is nearly complete, and then I just finished another pistol for somebody, and then I've got a bunch of orders down the road. Okay. It's
What if you
8 to 10 orders of artillery, and different things. So it's great.
What do you think someone would say if they wanted like a handgun replica made of wood, obviously, and you sent it to them for the holidays, but it was painted like a candy cane? How do you think they would react to that?
They'd be like, some people would be like, well, it's not the color that I want it painted. I mean, it's not the color. You could paint, you can send somebody a model and then, and you say it's going to be painted as originally, or you could say, and then you paint it as a candy cane. They're going to think either it's funny or they're going to be like, oh, great, now I have to paint this.
Yeah, you got to paint. I was just kidding. I know you wouldn't do that, brother, because you're a professional, and that's 2 minutes. That was awesome. Thanks, Aaron.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man. Listen, you have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, despite it being 2020. And if we don't chat again in December, we'll definitely chat in the new year.
We should chat again in December. I'm doing a lot of presentations, like my military presentations that I do, right? Okay. Because I haven't been able to get into the schools. I've been doing them all online. Most of them are online. And I've been putting them on Facebook.
Works for me, man. I'm flexible. All right, brother. Enjoy the snow.
Okay. Cool. Talk soon, Matt.
All right, Aaron. Take care, brother.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye. Love that guy. Okay. I have just over 2 minutes to finish the rest of my show, and I did have some things I wanted to talk about. I just want to give you an idea of what it's been like here for the last 72 hours, and forgive me for looking down, but within the last 72 hours, we had our home computer hacked into, which cost us a lot of money to get fixed. This morning, I woke up with a phone call from my bank telling me that my bank card had been compromised through the skimming scam. And then about 3 o'clock this afternoon, I got a phone call about a fraudulent or misuse of my social insurance number. So this is the time of year when scammers are out in full force. If someone shows up at your door, calls you, and you are the least bit suspicious, tell them to hit the road. Tell them to hit the road. Okay, so I wanted to mention that. A new phrase I heard today was scandemic. So I have scandemic, plandemic, pandemic, hamdemic, and spandemic. I guess that's the road we're going down. Okay, I got 60 seconds left. A few things I want to talk about, and I'm going to do this in 60 seconds. I think I'm a part of a large group of people that are experiencing societal grief. There's just so much happening in the world that you can't help but feel the collective grief. I know, I'm just speaking for me. And that's just some conversations that I've had today. 3 things I'm going to leave you with. Who delivers, and this is for Canadians back east and across Canada, for Canadians, who will deliver pardons better, the champ or Trump? We are 1 month away from Christmas today. We're 1 month away from Christmas, and I'm going to go a little bit over. That's okay. But I did want to finish this because last night I was telling you about Chef's Plate. It arrived here today. 4 meals arrived by FedEx. So we got this, this, and this. So 4 meals showed up in a box today. The ingredients are there. So we just have to prepare it, and we'll be doing that the moment I step inside the house. I think we're doing tonight, we are doing the loaded Greek turkey gyro. That's what we're having tonight. So thank you for Chef's Plate, and thank you for hanging out. And thank you to Aaron for hanging out as well and doing the chat. Old school on the phone. Have a great Wednesday night. This is Matthew. This is MattTv. Now and always, from sea to sea.